listen up. The views, thoughts, and opinions expressed in this podcast belong solely to the podcast participants, and not to any participant's employer, organization, committee, or other group or individual. This podcast is for entertainment purposes only. You know, for fun. So lighten up and enjoy. Oh, Stomping Jen.
Sawtooth Frank.
Well, this is going to be an interesting episode.
Oh, yeah? Why
It's
is
just
that?
you, me, and two special guests.
Who are that? Who's they?
Well, back by popular demand, by request, in fact, are going to be Space Unicorn and Ted.
Ted.
Yep. Both of them will be joining us.
Oh, exciting.
I don't know how long they'll be joining us for, but they'll be joining us.
Oh, excellent.
All right, are we ready?
We are.
All right. The Soft Serve Podcast. Creamy, delicious ideas without the creepy truck. All right.
I think that's the first time that certain people have heard the new intro music. They're
that
looking quite puzzled.
Is that the first time you've heard that new intro music, Space Unicorn?
It is actually.
And what do you think of it?
It's new. It's going.
Yeah.
It's a thing in this world now.
Should it be a thing in this world?
I mean, if you made it, then of course.
Correct answer. Okay. Ted, is this the first time you are hearing the new music?
Yeah, it is.
And what do you think?
It's different.
Mm-hmm.
Different is good, right?
Not always.
Huh.
I mean, this quarantine is different, but some would argue it's not good.
Well, we might just talk about the quarantine.
Yeah, it's on the list of things to talk about.
Oh, excellent.
But hold on. I just ate a bunch of chocolate peanut butter cake. So my throat is all messed up.
Oh, goodness.
That's why I was coughing.
What kind of cake was it?
Chocolate peanut butter banana cake.
Oh, and what was the design on the cake?
Oh, it was a soft serve podcast cake.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
It's not a joke,
With
by
a
the way.
Sasquatch.
Yeah, what else did it have on it?
You tell me. I can't remember. Most of the
Bigfoot.
cake is gone. What Space Unicorn?
Bigfoot.
Bigfoot?
Sasquatch.
Is that what a Bigfoot is called? A Sasquatch?
Yeah, that's why you're Sawtooth Frank, because Sawtooth is a place is like where Bigfoot. It's like the Sawtooth Forest, and it's where Bigfoot was originally spotted.
Is that true?
Is that true?
It is.
I don't remember that at all.
I'm pretty sure it is.
I think she just made that up.
No,
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it is. I read it somewhere.
Yeah, there's
All right.
also some aliens on this cake.
Yeah.
Who made the cake?
And there's lots of background noise because there is a dog walking around. There's cats crawling all over the place.
All three of them are in this room.
It's mayhem
That's
because
we're all in this room.
right, because Ted and Space Unicorn are joining us. Now
The cake.
the cake Stomping Jen. Tell us more about the cake.
Why was there a cake? Ted, tell us why there was a cake.
Oh, it was a very special occasion.
What was the special occasion that we had
Friday.
cake for? What was on Friday?
Sawtooth Frank's birthday.
Wow. How exciting.
Yeah. And how old am I turning?
Oh my gosh, you're going to give them everything about you. You're old.
I think people know how old I am.
Who?
I've said it before.
47.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now would have been a perfect time to say something like I'm 23.
That's right.
Yeah.
But the cake was by Cake by Pip. Cakes by Pip.
Yeah, what do we think about that?
They make really good cakes.
They do.
We get cakes from them all the time for special occasions.
That is true.
We should make
They
a
do.
jingle for Cakes by Pip. Do-do-do-do-do. If you like cakes and you like fun designs.
I can tell that the creative juices are just flowing through your
Call
brain.
Cakes by Pip.
So you're going to make a jingle?
I just did.
That's up to you now. That's
Sing
your
it
new
again.
assignment.
Everyone be quiet. Sing it again.
I don't remember how it went. Do-do-do-do-do-do. If you like cakes and you like fun designs.
The beginning of it sounded like Mortal Kombat.
Cakes by Pip.
You should just make this the entire episode.
No?
Sure.
That was great,
You know what's going
Stomping
to get
Jen.
turned into a noise on the soundboard? That right there. You singing Mortal Kombat. Thing.
I could do that all day. Mortal Kombat. Oh no, sorry.
The listener engagement is just really going through the roof right now.
I think we've had enough.
All right. So 47.
47.
What did we do for my birthday? Does anyone remember?
I mean, we watched.
WandaVision.
Go ahead.
No, that was
Really not that much.
Saturday. We
Well, Friday was a work day.
Friday.
Yeah.
I mean, you
And a
played
school
video
day.
games.
We watched WandaVision.
Yeah. It was like a birthday weekend.
I don't know if we should do a segment on that because maybe some people haven't seen it.
No,
Yeah,
we don't have to talk about
No, we're not going to talk too much about that. All right.
really
So
good,
my
though.
birthday was on a Friday, right?
Yeah.
And I worked.
Right.
What else did I do?
You played video games
You
with your
played video games
friends.
with your friends.
We ate the cake, of course.
Yep, we had a
went-
cake.
We
You
went
a
for
run.
sushi.
Yeah, we had sushi.
Well, I didn't have sushi because I'm newly vegetarian.
Yeah.
What else did we do?
What did you have?
Oh, I had vegetable udon noodles.
Okay.
What did you get for presents there, Sawtooth Frank? Let's see if you
Coffee.
can remember.
Yeah, well,
Birthday
Ted just
cake
reminded me. I never would have
Birthday cake
remembered.
coffee.
Birthday cake coffee.
Yep. A
Sawtooth
space
is very into brewing his own coffee.
unicorn said I got birthday cake flavored coffee, which is good,
Yeah.
from Shelburne Falls Coffee Roasters, which I think you can order that online. But they're a Western Massachusetts coffee company.
And I'll tell you, this gift was very planned. We planned extensively to give you this gift. It was not some sort of thing that we just went to the farm and kind of just saw on the shelf and was like, oh, this would be a good present.
Yeah.
Oh, it's very planned.
You also got a poster. Correct me if I'm not wrong.
What do you mean?
Stomping Jen got you a poster.
Yeah, what poster did I get?
I didn't see it.
Yeah, you made sure not to take it out.
Something with like a robot.
Yeah, it was a poster from somebody who's appeared on our podcast before. And we have a print that's hanging up right over there behind Stomping Jen of some keys and an ocean. And the artist is Chris Bordenka. And you can check out his stuff online. He's really awesome. We like him. And there is a painting he did that I really wanted a print of. So I think maybe Stomping Jen pulled some strings to make that happen. So, Stomping Jen, this is for you.
Oh, thank you. Oh my goodness.
Yep, that's a cat ramming into the microphone.
Just straight into it.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
try to just push him away and keep him
All
away.
right.
Yeah, he's an old cat.
How old at this point?
He's
15.
15.
When's his birthday?
March.
March.
He has a March birthday. He really doesn't want to get off the table. Pick him up and put him on your lap.
I think it's like March 3rd, right?
Yeah, so 47, do I need to be worried? Am I coming up on...
Well, because you can't remember your presents, really, so... Maybe just one thing to worry about.
Right.
Is there anything that you're looking forward to next year?
I mean, this year coming up that you will be 47. What do you have on your 47 before 48 hit list?
Hit list.
Yeah.
That's a really good...
You mean bucket list?
Yeah.
That's a really good question. I haven't thought about it too much, actually. I mostly just want to maintain my trajectory of good health, I think. Continue running. Continue working on the podcast.
Those are good goals.
I don't have much else beyond that, really, honestly.
That's okay.
What goals have you set stomping, Jen? Because I know one of your main goals recently has been to score genius on the New York Times puzzle.
Yes, I've recently downloaded this New York Times puzzle app. Trying to do brain improvement by
Exercises.
doing crossword puzzles.
Clearly, it's working.
Brain excellent
Hit list.
because of New York Times puzzle.
Yes, been very obsessed with this recently.
Yeah, so they have this thing called the spelling bee, which is like Boggle, sort of, where you have to find words
Find words out of a given set.
of words.
But what does that mean, score genius? I don't even know what
It's
that
like
means.
the more words
It's a streak
you get,
of words. Like
Yeah.
it's if you're on a streak, like you get one word without being wrong, 2 words without being wrong.
No. You don't get wrong or right. You just have to find as many as you can.
Yeah.
And the more words you find, the more points you get.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yes.
And then there's a special word for every puzzle. It's called the panagram, which means that you've used every letter in the puzzle.
And there always has to, and there's a middle letter that you have to use in every word.
Yes. So Space Unicorn and Ted have been helping me daily with my puzzle.
And I'm sure you can hear the podcat right now, who has decided to be very close to the microphone.
That's okay.
Do we know the podcast's name?
That's okay.
Yeah, you can say his name. Go ahead.
Okay, Ichabod, get off the table.
He's not going to go. Yeah,
It looks like he's deciding to lay down.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of upcoming goals. I'm just trying to stay healthy, stay motivated, trying to make it through the pandemic. Are we going to talk about the pandemic? It's coming up on the year anniversary.
Yeah, go ahead. Talk about it.
What do you guys think? We've been in lockdown for a year.
Has it been a year yet? I don't think it's been exactly a year.
Yeah,
Well, it
Saturday. It will be a year.
What's the date today? March what?
March 7th.
Yeah, so it will be 6 days. It'll be a year.
So how many? So there's like 365 days in a year, right? Mm-hmm. So, okay, so, we've been in quarantine.
You just didn't know when we've gone into quarantine.
We've been in quarantine for 359 days.
Yeah. What do you think about that?
Well, it's definitely an achievement. I mean,
An achievement.
not everyone gets to live through a major pandemic in their lives.
That's something that everyone looks forward to. Great achievement.
But Space Unicorn, has there been anything positive out of it? Why don't we look at it from that
I've
perspective?
been getting to spend more time with my family.
Is that a good thing?
It is a good thing because I feel like we've been able to connect more.
Yeah.
And
How have we been able to connect more?
we've been spending more time together.
Yeah.
Have we?
We have.
In what way?
We've been going on walks together and doing family TV viewing.
Okay. There's nothing wrong with viewing TV together.
I mean, there can be some downsides.
Oh, like what?
Being lazy,
That's okay.
which,
It's okay because you can do other things while you're not watching TV with your
I
family.
mean, yeah. Alright. Moving on.
But so those have been some good things. What has been challenging for you?
For me, school in general, I know that we're going hybrid. We're going back to hybrid soon, but it's just a little difficult because, like, it's harder to focus and, like, you don't always get the help you need right away.
Yeah.
And I know it's been harder for the teachers.
What do you think's been harder for them?
Making sure everyone comes to class on attendance and, like, just assigning work, forgetting to assigning work, assigning the wrong work for different classes.
Now you're going to be going back to hybrid in a few weeks. What are your thoughts about that?
I feel like it'll be easier, but that might not turn out how I thought it would because, things aren't always what you want them to be. So that's a thing.
Yeah. What about you, Ted? What have been some challenges for you?
Oh, I really should have been thinking about these questions. I should have seen this coming. I've just been so distracted by the podcat who's hitting his tail against the wall.
He's high up on a shelf chasing his tail.
Now
Yes.
he's currently
Right. Can you
eating
restate
his
the
tail.
question?
What's been challenging for you over the last year with the pandemic and being in lockdown?
That's a really hard question. I haven't found many difficulties. And then the only potential one could be school, right? But I don't know if that just comes naturally with moving up a grade. But so it's just hard to kind of know where I'm struggling because I don't have much to compare it against.
I see.
For example, you guys pretty much have pretty repetitive lives after school, right? You guys get a job, right? And do pretty much the same thing. So you have like years to compare against. Every year is kind of changing for me.
Okay.
What I'm saying is there's never like really a standard normal for me.
Yeah, but there were like things that got canceled over the course of the year that you guys were looking forward
There
to.
was summer camps. Yeah. I
were-
guess I've missed pretty much like 40% of middle school, which I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing.
But the good news is we'll be returning to normal soon, right? This summer.
about another
fully.
year.
No, before that, you're going to be going back to summer camp.
Maybe like 9 months, possibly. Like, for it to be like, well, about a year for things to like start like for people to start feeling more comfortable without wearing masks and stuff. If COVID does end by a 10-month mark.
You don't
Yeah.
have to find normal.
But, I mean, it's not going to be much skin off of your back, right? To put a mask on when you go into a store.
Yeah, no. But like, my main concern is like, is if it shoots right back up after we think it's gone, or vaccines don't work.
Well, they'll probably have to vaccinate against it every year if it continues to mutate, kind of like the flu.
Or like developing vaccines for younger children and teens.
They're in the process of doing that right now, actually. I have,
Thanks, Ted.
Yeah. I mean,
true.
he's technically correct. They're still working on that.
I
yeah,
know.
I have a friend who volunteered to be one of the,
Guinea pigs.
one of the people who are also testing the vaccine.
in a trial.
But
Clinical trial.
Yeah, but he doesn't know whether or not he got the actual vaccine or a placebo.
Yeah, so that'll be fun.
Yeah.
See the result.
Yeah.
What challenges have you guys faced?
Well, let's see. We don't get to see our friends and do things the way that we were accustomed to for a good portion of our lives.
Like
Yeah.
what?
Go out to restaurants, go to concerts, go to the movies.
Do you think you'll still have the same desire to do those things after the pandemic?
Maybe differently. Going to see family, going in other people's houses. That's been really challenging.
Yeah.
There's been some good stuff, though. We did some interesting, fun, new activities over the course of the year. We did a lot of outdoor walking and
A lot of walking.
hiking, and we got paddle boards and kayaks, and we did a lot of water sports this summer.
Yes. Unfortunately, though, with winter, really all you can do is go for hikes, and some days it gets way too cold.
Some days it gets too cold. I agree. That's been a little challenging.
Go ahead, Space Unicorn.
Well, considering we've been in the pandemic, we've been saving a lot of money, like by not going out to restaurants and not going to the movie theaters, which was sometimes a 2-week thing or a 1-week thing.
We did go to the movies a lot.
We did. And that was a lot of money, but we've definitely been saving some money.
We also been saving because we don't use our cars, so we don't use any gas practically.
Yeah, but our electric bill, I can't talk, has gone up a little bit, but it's still better than going to the movies and stuff.
Yeah.
So we're definitely saving a lot of money in that way.
Yeah, we saved a lot of time because we had to drive a lot before the pandemic. We drove a lot.
Half an hour to school.
Half an hour back.
Yeah.
How
Lots
about,
of busy activities, yeah.
and how about you, Sawtooth Frank? Any challenges?
Any challenges? Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of the same challenges that Stomping Jen here has articulated, but as time goes on, I don't view them as being challenges so much anymore. Like, I'm not eager to go back to a restaurant. I'm not eager to go back to movie theaters. In fact, I don't know if I'll ever really want to do any of those things again. I'm completely happy getting takeout, happy watching movies at home and paying $30 to get the movie on early release versus paying $70
Right.
to go to a movie.
So I just want to mention that my headphones were in backwards. For the first 20 minutes.
Yes.
Really?
Spelling bee.
Really,
I feel like they're doing
the spelling
wonders for you.
brain, the spelling game is really exercising your brain here.
Remember, one at a time, okay?
And
I just realized that.
Yeah.
can-
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest challenge for me has mostly been related to not being able to spend time in physical space with people. That I miss.
Yeah.
I miss the freedom of moving around. I miss the freedom of not just feeling like I'm constantly having to worry about this darn virus.
Yeah.
You know, will I feel differently, after more people are vaccinated, after I'm vaccinated? I don't know. But certainly looking forward to this summer when they predict more people will be vaccinated. You know, hopefully, people can start getting together again. That's my hope.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I know, for example, right, that you've been doing quite a lot more interviews on the podcast as opposed to like the old format. Do you think this was kind of brought about by the pandemic? I'm not entirely sure about when that really happened, but how do you think the pandemic has affected your podcasting?
That's a good question. What do you think, Stomping Jen?
Yeah, I mean, it got us into thinking about the format a little bit differently. We did a little bit more interviewing, reaching out to people to talk to them about different topics, and then just trying to get to know people and what they're up to, and being able to do it via this remote technology has been really helpful.
Yeah, and prior to the pandemic hitting, one of the things we had wanted to do was get a little studio space, right? And I don't know if it would have been easier or harder for some of the people we've interviewed to get to that studio space.
Yeah.
For us to be able to do interviews. So
Yeah.
I do feel like you lose something in not meeting people in person and sitting with them and talking to them. But I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think
We might do a mix when we can start having people in studio.
Yeah, but I think the pandemic definitely presented an opportunity to be able to connect with more people, remotely.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. We talked to a lot of interesting people.
Yeah.
Are you looking forward to going back to like a standard work environment, Sawtooth?
Me, no.
No. Yeah.
No. But maybe. I mean, when I'm working, I'm moving around. I work a lot less if I have to actually go to my workplace. That's a fact. I probably work 3 times as much because I'm not walking between meetings. I'm not, having to do all the typical stuff that fills up time during the day when you are on site.
Yeah,
Not
so you-
stopping to talk to people.
Right. it's weird because like you get all this time back, but then you end up filling a lot of that time with tasks.
One of the things I think I've noticed the most about how the pandemic has affected our like daily lives is our utilization of space, right? Like before the pandemic hit, and not actually that really that long ago, right? A lot of the spaces in our house weren't utilized as much as they currently are. As you know, you don't have to be here every day, right? If you're out at school or out somewhere and then you come back, right? Usually, you go to bed. But we've been utilizing some of the places that we have now, renovating, right? There's sun porch. Thinking about doing the basement, I think.
Yeah. The sun porch is now Space Unicorn's classroom.
Yes, even where we currently are, the studio, you've kind of renovated into more of a
office space,
workspace, studio. It's very nice in here. Pictures everywhere.
Mm-hmm. Lots of art in here.
Pop Funkos.
We invested in a lot of art this past year.
Yeah. What did you say, Space Unicorn?
Pop Funkos.
What are Pop Funkos?
They're like bobbleheads, but not bobbleheads. They're just figures from like movies and TV shows and like all your favorites and stuff.
Yeah.
With big heads.
It's a pretty good description. I'd say it's pretty accurate.
Mm-hmm.
And they have like different designs and stuff. I'm looking at a Hello Kitty one right now, which I'm mad at Stomping Jen for not telling me that she bought one.
Yes. We had this big argument earlier today, or yesterday.
It was yesterday.
About Hello Kitty.
What about it? What was the argument?
So when Space Unicorn was an infant, I had decorated her nursery with all sorts of Paul Frank and Hello Kitty.
Oh, I remember this.
Lots and lots and lots and lots of Hello Kitties.
And when she was a little older, she had a huge Hello Kitty stuffed animal collection.
Uh-huh.
She had many, 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 many. And
I remember.
I had about 20.
No, you had more.
Oh.
And at some point, she declared she was off of Hello Kitty.
I'm not off of Hello Kitty. You can't ever be off of Hello Kitty.
And decided to rid herself of every evidence that she ever enjoyed Hello Kitty.
Didn't we donate those 40 Hello Kitty dolls somewhere?
Yes, they're long gone. And so I've never pretended to not like Hello Kitty ever in my life.
I absolutely love Hello Kitty, but I think we did a good thing because I probably wasn't gonna play with those Hello Kitty dolls ever again. I would probably use them as decoration, but now some other little kid it could be enjoying them right now.
Yes, but now she has declared that she is upset that I purchased a Hello Kitty Pop Funko, and she has said that she alone is the only one that can like Hello Kitty.
Huh.
That is not what I said.
However,
I only said that.
This feels pretty similar to the blanket conundrum.
I, being me, always being obsessed with Hello Kitty and things like Paul Frank and Tokidoki and all that.
You have never. I'm.
Tokidoki's a new thing.
You don't. There's no way you can possibly like it more than me. I have 66, exactly 66 of them, and they are about $12 each.
And when gets tired of them, guess whose collection it's gonna be?
I'm never getting rid of them. I'm never getting rid of them.
She got rid of all the Hello Kitty dolls.
Why do you say you're never going to get rid of them?
I'm not going to get rid of them because this is a thing that This is my thing that I've had for about 2 years.
This is what you said about Hello Kitties.
But I was a toddler.
Mm-hmm.
I want to elaborate.
Or the Beanie Babies.
What do you want to elaborate?
Okay, hold on. Let's let Ted weigh in.
I said earlier, this sounds a little bit like the blanket conundrum, which I'm going to explain.
What is the blanket conundrum?
So, Space Unicorn has asserted that every blanket that comes into this house, no matter who buys it, right,
Or what its intended use is for.
What its intended use is for, automatically for Space Unicorn. This sounds very similar. I'm hearing some very similar tone.
Now, Space Unicorn, you think this is funny. Would you care to comment on this? Do you in fact view every blanket that comes into this house as yours?
I may or may not be using a stolen blanket.
You may be using what?
I may or may not be using a stolen blanket at this very moment.
I see a blanket wrapped around your waist. Where did that blanket come from?
Well, it was originally intended as a couch throw.
Uh-huh.
But
Came from the couch.
How many, I often find myself in the position of having to make your bed every night.
no.
And you have probably 9 blankets on it.
More.
20 pillows.
How many blankets does a person need?
Let's see. This is a very intense question. I'd say about 50.
50 blankets?
50 blankets per person.
Huh. Is this a problem, Stomping Jen? Is this something we have
blanket
to...
or the cat?
If you think that my blanket collection is a problem, then you should see my pillow collection.
Yeah. How many pillows do you have?
24.
How many blankets is enough blankets? Is that the question?
Yeah.
50.
I think 4 is too many.
But she does have the coldest room in the house.
She does.
I do.
Not
does.
by much.
But when we go in there in
I
the
still
morning,
do.
a lot of the blankets are on the floor.
I just like to comment. My room's temperature has not been measured, and it would make sense for it to be the coldest, considering the fact that it has 2 windows, so it has a higher surface area to the outside, and it is a larger room.
You have 2 heat registers in your room.
Okay.
Yeah, you get more heat and you get a higher exchange of air in
And
your room.
your room
Right.
is directly on top of a pellet stove that runs all night long.
It's not much colder than the one in her room, honestly.
Not really. I
You
had
went
to.
downstairs down here to the office, though.
I had to have a thermal thing installed in my room so we could track
What's a thermal thing? Do you mean a sensor?
a thermostat, so we could track the temperature of my room in case it got too cold.
Yeah, I'm keeping on top of that. I monitor the temperature of your room very closely.
Indeed, you do.
Thank
Very
you.
closely.
Thank you, Sawtooth Frank. I'm sure Space Unicorn
Oh my
appreciates
God.
that.
All right, so Space Unicorn, we can all expect you to lose interest in Tokidokis like you did Hello Kitty, and
And
mom
Beanie
will be
Babies.
the recipient.
No.
Yeah.
This will never happen.
Awesome. That was the bodcat.
Okay. I declare myself the inheritor of all the toys in the house.
Nope.
Yep.
That is not happening.
Yes. They're all going to be mine.
No.
And please stop blowing out the mic.
I apologize.
All right.
I'm just...
When you abandon all your toys when you go off to college, like Toy Story, was it 2? When he goes to college?
Well,
Yeah.
Andy brings Woody with him.
No, he
Tries to.
tries to.
Yeah, but
All the other toys
I
that
doubt-
left behind.
I
I'm sure you'll have something that you want to bring to college. I'm
All
sure
my
there will be other
blankets.
things that you don't
Oh, your
want.
blankets. All right, you can bring your blankets.
stolen blankets.
You can bring
and
your blankets.
my collection and my
she goes off to
future
college.
and my future Hello Kitty Doc Martens.
Okay, I'm just going to also tell you, if you go into the Air Force, you're going to be allowed a duffel bag's worth of stuff to take with you.
If you decide,
Tokidokis will not be in there.
if Space Unicorn decides to go to college, you can expect to have to buy quite a few more blankets when you leave.
But if I do go into the Air Force, I'm gonna eventually come back to get my stuff,
Oh, I see. Okay. All right. You will return
and I will
for the
visit my
Tokidokis.
childhood bedroom.
Do you know that she has declared also that she needs a pair of Hello Kitty Doc Martens?
I didn't know that.
I am going to buy them.
Me neither.
How are you going to buy them? Do you have money?
I do have money. I have a bank thingy in my mother's phone.
that she spends
Allowance.
as fast as she can on Toki
I have an allowance, and I have pocket money.
Okay. All right. So these cats have been a significant distraction all throughout this podcast. And somebody on the internet requested a update on our cats. So anybody want to give one?
Yes, I would love to.
I would gladly.
Let's let Ted go first.
All right, so podcat number 1, Dagger, the one causing the most problems here, has already knocked about 3 things off the shelf, has caused quite a bit of distraction, and is overall just as happy as ever.
Now, this cat, in addition to being an incredibly disruptive presence during this podcast, this cat experiences frequent vomiting.
This is true.
And mostly we think because he eats too fast and too much.
It's possible.
Also the loudest cat, may I add.
So we have a theory, right? Are we going to talk about the thing?
What
So
thing?
I don't
we
think-
adopted these black and white tuxedo cats. They're brothers, Sullivan and Dagger.
Yeah.
We've had them about 3 years. And their personalities are
Polar opposites.
they do a lot of the same things, but they do a lot of things differently. But recently what we discovered is that Dagger is a day lap cat.
Daytime kitty.
He's like a daytime kitty.
Right.
And Sullivan is like a nighttime kitty.
Yeah.
That's what we've decided.
And he's a real creep. We talked about this on a previous podcast where he keeps me awake all night by crawling on top of me and licking my fingers with his long, slimy tongue all night long. It's gross.
Yeah.
And he's got an unusually long tongue. And so when he licks my hands, his tongue like snakes its way between my fingers and it gets underneath my hand onto my palm.
Thanks for the descriptive details.
Yeah. It's like he has
have also a long and slimy tongue that can reach your chin.
It's like he has a prehensile tongue.
Can you stick your tongue out and touch your nose?
No, my tongue is normal length.
No, it isn't.
Yeah.
And so does this cat only do this to you? Because I've never experienced
He
this.
does it to
It's
me.
just a tendency
this cat
toward...
does it to me.
Let's go around and ask people. Space Unicorn, does Sullivan lick your hands or other parts of your person at night?
He licks my fingers and my face.
Okay.
Licks your face?
He does lick my face.
All right, Stomping Jen,
Yes.
does Sullivan lick you?
Not like you're describing. He does stick his head into my hand and does the nudging,
Okay.
like pet me.
Okay, because he washes me all night long for some reason.
May I add something?
Go ahead.
Another unusual thing about this cat is that he has what I'd like to call 2 personalities.
What do you mean?
So sometimes when you're petting him and he's enjoying it, he's all sweet. Then he just gets like a strike and he swats at you or tries to bite you.
Yeah.
And it's super weird because like he's purring and stuff. And then he just becomes all toxic.
He has an odd temperament. He has explosive rage disorder.
He also enjoys being under covers.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in 1 second.
What-
Ted,
so
do you experience this licking behavior?
Not at all. I'm assuming this means I'm the grossest of the bunch.
Why?
It doesn't lick me at all.
Well, no, I would offer that you are the cleanest because he isn't trying to groom you.
This is true.
I may
Also,
add,
can I
I think-
continue my update of the cats at any point?
Hold on.
Can I say?
We're taking them one at a time.
One at a time. I was
May I say?
Go ahead.
first.
So I think he's getting ready to eat us. He's tasting us.
Oh,
All right. So, Ted, what did you want to say?
I would have liked to continue my update on all 3 of the cats.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're working on it. We're doing 1 cat right now. We're talking
I
about
was
Sullivan.
talking about Dagger, and then you guys started talking about Sullivan licking you guys at night. So I didn't even finish my update on Dagger.
All right. Let's go back to Ted's update on the cats.
Okay, go ahead.
All right.
You can lead the cat conversation. Go ahead.
This now,
Thank you.
Ted's update on the cats.
Okay, let's let Ted go ahead, please.
So in addition to all the things previously said about Dagger, they also are quite loud. So I don't know if this has ever been discussed on the podcast ever, but Dagger is the loudest cat I've ever met. I swear. You'll be at the top of the house in your bedroom, and they could be in the basement, and you would hear them clear as day. Absolutely.
What does they sound like?
It's so loud, my mind just can't comprehend it. Every time I hear him, just fills my head with sounds. All right, and our next cat, Sullivan, as you've heard, very occupied with licking people while they sleep. During the day, they like to sit on top of the cat tree we have, perched there. If you ever walk near it, you can expect to be attacked.
Yep, he does attack people walking by.
This is true.
Hold on, Space Unicorn, you're laughing at that. Why is that funny? Talk into the microphone, please.
I just find it funny.
Why?
Because he's such an odd cat. As I mentioned, he has 2 personalities.
Right. Okay, so you think it's funny that he attacks people for no reason. He sits on that perch and watches.
and tries to kill you because he's tasted your skin because he's slurped up your dry skin molecules.
Okay.
All right.
All right, Ted, go ahead. Please continue.
And then finally, we have Ichabod, who was the original nuisance at the beginning of the podcast. Ichabod is still quite large, just as ever. Very big cat, by the way. Generally has been pretty happy. Enjoys being pet. Pretty simple cat. So,
how old is he?
1 year older than me, so that makes him 14.
15.
He's about to be 15.
About to be 15 or 14.
Very soon he's...
We don't know his
15.
actual birth date. He was born in March.
Why not 14?
Because you will be 14.
You are turning 14, and
we
he's
got
a year
him
ahead of you.
you.
And he was born a few months before you.
Yeah.
All right. So, then, okay, 15.
Yeah, he's 15.
Yeah, we think he was born in March.
Yeah, he was born in March.
Should ask that computer what the life expectancy of a cat is.
Let's not. I don't like to think about cats
the
dying.
life expectancy. The life expectancy.
Go ahead.
It's about 14 to. It's about 14 to 17.
Okay. So, and we had a cat that lived over 20 years, so...
19.
We did?
Raw. 19. Yeah. Ramen noodles. The sun
How old was
Ramen noodles, the sun god. He was 19.
What?
Yeah, he was old.
He was 19.
We don't really know how old
he was. 19.
We're making a lot of presumptions.
He was 19.
Here. Okay.
He was old, though.
He was an old cat.
Quite an old cat.
We had him a very long time.
All right, anything else we want to say about these cats?
Well, Dagger seems to have settled down up on top of the shelf there.
You mean right now, at this moment?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sullivan is on the ottoman on the dog bed.
Yeah.
Staring at us.
Overall, they're pretty good cats.
Do we still think it's a good idea to have cats?
I like having cats.
Space Unicorn?
I think that cats are objectively better than dogs.
Why are they objectively better than dogs?
I mean, they're pretty easier to take care of.
So you can pick them up.
They're easier to take care of because, like, they don't really do anything. They just sleep.
They don't require much of you.
Lick your molecules.
And that's what I don't understand with people's arguments for cats, right? I don't really care about comparing either of them.
And they're supposed to be quieter. Cough, cough, Dagger.
Yeah. Okay.
So, Ted, what were you saying?
I was saying, in one of the arguments, that's one of the arguments I don't actually get about when people argue cats are better than dogs. I don't, by the way, agree with either of them. I don't really care that much. But is this just so you can have something lazier than you around? Like, what is the reasoning?
No, I mean, do you not enjoy having the cats?
I feel like arguing which is better, right? It takes less work.
Well, okay,
right?
okay. Without argument, when you have a house or a place of your own, will you decide to have any animals?
Probably not.
All right, what do you want to say, Space Unicorn?
When I was a little younger, I had...
How old are you now?
Right now, I'm 10, turning 11 pretty soon. I wanted to have 1,000 cats in my mansion with 1,000 rooms.
Right.
And I wanted it to be a lake house where Sawtooth and Stomping Jen could live in and take care of my cats.
I'm still all for this, by the way, if you want to make that happen.
Yeah.
Considering that I have a different like thought in what career I would like to have when I'm older. When I was younger, I wanted to be an actress, singer, pet vet.
I can recap. I remember very vividly.
Let's let her finish. Go ahead.
I wanted to be a fashion designer, model, singer, actress, vet, pet fundraiser, donator person. I'll let Ted recap.
Right, I remember this very vividly. Fashionista, clothing designer, superstar pop model who sings and raises money for animals while being a veterinarian.
Yeah, I mean, and the best part of all that was the lake house for Stomping Jen and I to live in. And I'll take care of all of that cats if you still want to make that happen.
And sentence you to an eternity of shoveling litter
I honestly
boxes.
don't think I'll have enough money to do that when I'm older.
It'll keep me nimble. It'll keep my core strong. It's good cardiovascular work. I'll do it.
I find it so
Shoveling
interesting
litter.
that Ted has declared he doesn't think he'll have pets when he's older.
I think he'll be a bird person.
Bird person.
bird
Don't get me started
Birds
about
last
birds.
forever.
I think he's gonna be a bird person.
A bird person.
Never
Bird
getting a
person.
bird.
Yeah, he's gonna be a bird person.
Maybe a farm person with
Interesting.
cows and horses and chickens. And
A farm person? Do you mean a farmer?
Well, we have decided, Sawtooth Frank, right? We have the dog as an experiment, but what have we decided? Are we going to have a dog again?
I'd like to have another dog.
Maybe when there's no kids living in the house.
I'd like to have another dog again.
Huh.
They're good companions.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't know about that.
I mean, I like the dog. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
amazing companions. They'll keep the
I-
ground fertilized for you.
I'd honestly I'd like to have another dog living in this household.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know about that. All right. I think that's enough. I
cats,
think
2
that's enough
dogs.
cat and pet talk. Now, another question that came up on the internet that people wanted you to talk about and get your thoughts on was this idea of nature versus nurture. Do you know what that is?
Yes.
Not really.
All right, so let me try to explain this to you, Space Unicorn. It's the idea that people are basically either born good or bad, or they're made good or bad by the way they're raised. Right? Do you get it?
Yeah. So nurture is the raised and the
Yeah, nature
is
is,
the
it's
being
within
born.
you, right? So, Ted, what do you think about this?
Is there no middle ground? Or
Well-
are you asking which is more?
I'm asking your thoughts on it. So if your
Okay.
thoughts are that there's middle ground, then share that with
I think
us.
that it is in between. I believe so because there is certain ways that if you're born you can have tendencies towards things. Also, I think nurture though is quite a larger factor in that entire equation. As putting any just born child in a situation will shape them pretty similarly to any other in the same situation.
Okay, thank you. Space Unicorn, what are your thoughts about this?
I think it's definitely nurture, just because so I've heard a lot from both movies and books and in like real life that like people like bullies might not may bully you because they might not be happy with themselves. Or they might not be, or they might hate themselves more, and they want to bully you to make you feel better, to make them feel better.
Okay. All right. Stomping Jen, those are some good ideas, Space Unicorn. What are your thoughts on nature versus nurture?
I think both are at play. Because I think people are born with certain personality traits. And then how they're raised can either enhance or detract from some of those ideas, I think.
Okay.
What do you think?
It's pretty simple for me. What I think is this. So if our children turn out good, then it's obviously nurture. If they turn out bad, it's obviously nature.
Got it.
Very simple in my mind. I accept no responsibility.
Got it.
Unless it's good.
Got it.
Unless the outcomes are good.
Where would you put me and Ted?
Right now, we're on a very strong nurture track. So, because of my excellent parenting and Stomping Jen's to a degree, both of you are turning out very good.
How would you define good?
Wait until the emo phase.
Wait, is there an emo phase coming?
Or are you trying to like?
Are you? What are you trying to tell us, Space
This is for
Unicorn?
yourself,
Are you
Space
preparing for an emo phase of some kind?
I'm just making a joke.
Just
Hey,
wait for them to start buying black clothing.
Can we expect a hillbilly phase?
Turkey in the
Go ahead, tell us. Try.
the song.
Space Unicorn is dancing around. Will there be a hillbilly phase?
I mean,
I'm just joking. What are you trying to say, Space Unicorn? That there may be difficulties ahead?
I mean, for all you know, I could turn out to be an assassin.
An emo assassin? Okay.
But I'm on the path of becoming an asset engineer.
I concur. I think you're on a good trajectory.
Trajectory.
Yeah.
Get it?
Because you said NASA.
And clearly I'm becoming a comedian.
All right, so let's see.
Can we get a bidding for that?
Stomping Jen, what was your position on this
What?
again?
I don't know what we're talking about.
Nature
anymore.
versus nurture.
All right, let's move on. New topic.
Okay. New topic.
New topic.
All right, somebody also wanted us to. They wanted to know your thoughts on aliens.
Me?
Anyone?
I need to talk about this.
All right, go ahead.
I need to. Okay, aliens are real. It's kind of like we can't be alone in this universe.
Why? Why are they real, and why can't we be alone?
If we were a life form that was sustainable and in the cause of the Big Bang, and we slowly evolved, there's most indefinite chance that there were other life forms on other planets that slowly evolved to where they are, and the government, I think, found these ships taking pictures around the Earth and stuff, but they weren't powered by a life form, they were technology.
Okay.
And they were most definitely not from our planet.
I agree with you on a number of things you said, Space Unicorn. I'll come back to it in a moment. Ted, what are your thoughts on aliens? What do you have to say about that?
I'm sure there are aliens, but I don't think there's any sort of intelligent life out there. I mean, it's a very good niche that we've adapted into, but there have been others that have been equally as successful. I feel like this could also be like, us evolving into like an intelligent species, and that being our advantage. That evolution tree was already fraught with peril. There were many times where we almost went extinct anyway. So I think it's pretty lucky that we became a self-sustaining intelligent species capable of interplanetary travel, at least no, not interplanetary.
Sure,
yet.
we've traveled to other planets with
No, we
technology.
haven't.
Sure, we have.
sent
We went to
things.
Mars.
Human beings have walked on the moon. That's another.
That's not a different planet.
It is a interplanetary body.
We're working on going to Mars.
All right,
Perseverance successfully made its landing a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
And it's really interesting that actually Mars was a really watery planet, but something dried it up, and because they found clay, and Perseverance actually landed in a big ancient lake.
Let's let Ted finish his thoughts.
All right. Anyway, I think it's unlikely that there is other intelligent life out there. I don't know the actual statistics behind it. I'm sure someone has a pretty good argument for there being intelligent life, but I'm pretty sure there are plenty of reasons for other alien life forms not to evolve into an intelligent species that we should actually really care about.
Yeah, here are my thoughts on this. I think within the next 5 years, it's going to be revealed to us that not only is there intelligent life elsewhere in the universe, it is actively visiting us. Our own federal government has all but admitted this in a number of different ways. They have an active, ongoing, unidentified aerial phenomenon called UAP task force that is constantly collecting and analyzing video and photographic evidence of these crafts that are currently visiting our planet. They are observed to come in and out of the water. They fly around in our airspace, and they have no known system of propulsion that we can identify. The Navy has recorded several videos of these things. They've released them to the public, and they've said, these are real videos. We don't know what is in these videos. They demonstrate no propulsion system known to humankind that we're aware of. So we've all but had our own government admit that we are being visited by these crafts. Now, are they occupied by some kind of biological life form? Who knows? Are they drones? Who knows? But our own government has told us they likely do not originate from this planet. That is mind-blowing. So there's that. Hold on, one minute, Space Unicorn. I just want to finish. And we've had a number of people testify to the fact that they have seen these crafts. They've worked on crafts that have been recovered, and they've gone so far as to explain how they work, right? Because some of these people are involved in the reverse engineering of the propulsion system. So we know a great deal about these things. So I'm in the aliens exist camp. They are sending crafts to our planet right now as we speak. Space Unicorn.
So I agree, but wasn't there this guy who possibly found a new element?
Yeah.
If that element contained infinite energy, then we might have to rewrite physics, which is really interesting.
That element, that person's name is Bob Lazar. He is one of the people who claims to have worked on these crafts and been involved in reverse engineering the propulsion system.
Yeah.
Yeah. How that craft works is by warping the gravitational field around the craft, so it falls forward through space at incredibly rapid speeds. Ted.
How do you think something would warp gravity? Wouldn't it have to be pretty massive?
Well, Space Unicorn mentioned it. The hypothesis is that this element contained in the alien propulsion system that is probably plentiful on the home planet of whatever originated these crafts and uses it as a propulsion system. This element is plentiful on there and has properties that enable it to affect gravity.
So do you think our current understanding of physics could be entirely wrong?
I don't think it's wrong. I think it might change some of our understandings of physics. And I will say this. There's nothing about this proposed alien propulsion system that changes our understanding of physics. Wow. It is entirely within our current understanding of how physics works. We'll go to Space Unicorn, then back to Ted.
All right, so I know this is like kind of similar, but I've recently been like looking into these other dimensions facts. So basically, like there's the first dimension, left and right, flat, left and right, can only move left and right. The second dimension, up, down, left, right, flat. Our dimension, the 3D, diagonal, up, left, right, and forward and back and stuff, etc. But so I thought was really interesting because we recently watched, me and Storm and Jen recently watched a movie called Tiny Perfect Little Things about
a map of tiny perfect little things.
Yeah, but and it mentioned that that this girl learned how to draw the fourth dimension, and she thought that we were the shadows of the fourth dimension, because we have shadows of 2D, and the 2D has...
Okay, so Space Unicorn, if I can just wrap you up on that point, what you're saying is there other dimensions might play into this somehow.
Yeah.
That we don't understand. Okay, Ted, back to you. What were you going to say?
Well, I do believe when we originally discussed about this, I don't know really what to call it.
Topic?
Yes, this topic. You had
aliens.
Right. You had said that this could potentially create infinite energy, this element, which would rewrite our physics, because one of our main principles is that energy cannot be created or destroyed, nor can mass, right?
What I didn't say it would create infinite energy. What I said is if this element is able to generate propulsion, right?
Well, I do believe earlier a while ago you had said that.
Anyways, what I actually said, I can correct you, is that if this element is able to drive an engine and create propulsive forces without the benefit of fossil fuels, it would change humanity.
So
whether or not this element itself has some kind of endemic limitation on how long it works before it runs out, like radioactive material, I don't know. And that's one thing we won't know until the government tells us what it knows about this element. Go ahead, Space Unicorn, quickly, please.
So I'm going to take the blame on me because I'm the one who said about if it contains infinite energy.
Okay. All right, let's leave it there. Stomping Jen, you've not weighed in on aliens yet. Please.
I haven't weighed in on
What are
aliens.
your thoughts?
I have little mental energy devoted to the thinking about aliens.
All right, but do you think there's intelligent life out there in the universe?
Our universe is so vast that it would be unlikely that there wouldn't be another life force that has been evolved on some other planetary system somewhere. It just seems too large. It seems too unlikely that we're the only ones.
I agree, Stomping Jen. And what do you think about the possibility? Well, not even say the possibility. What do you think about our own government telling us it is frequently observing these unidentified aerial phenomenon, right? Crafts. It has admitted to observing crafts that it has no known explanation for how they move around in space, and they are likely extraplanetary.
Yeah.
Our own government has said that to us. What are your thoughts about this?
I know. I haven't done as much research as you.
Well, forget about research, but I'm telling you that that's what they've said. What do you think about that?
It's crazy. But until there's more information, I'll just reserve judgment.
Okay. I mean, Ted, our own government has admitted these...
Do you know which members of the government?
The Navy. Yeah, the Navy. All right, last comment on this, and then we've got to wrap up Space Unicorn.
Onto the government topic. So I think that it's pretty interesting that the government admitted, because some people claim that the government is like capturing them and laser beaming them, and they could be lizard people for all they know. And these people have crazy conspiracy theories. So like, if they saw that they admitted to such a huge case, like, then they'd probably like even be mind blown that they would admit to it. But like, this is just so huge. I mean, personally, my brain can barely comprehend it. It's just mind blowing.
Okay. All right. I think we've spent an hour and 5 minutes talking. Mm-hmm. That's probably enough, don't you think? Was there anything else that you wanted to address?
Let's do a final go around the table. Let's start with Ted.
Ted, please. Any final comments or topics or anything you want to address here?
No, not really. I could probably argue about this topic for hours, but
about aliens.
Are you saying you want to be on my Alien Spectacular podcast when we have it?
Sure.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Just a minute, Space Unicorn. We're going around the table.
Okay. What was that, Ted?
Absolutely not even sure.
Okay. Space Unicorn, any final comments or anything else you want to discuss?
So I've been recently thinking about starting my own podcast.
You have?
With Sawtooth as my co-host.
What would that podcast be?
I'd call it The Rip in the Wormhole, because it's basically a rip in a rip.
The Rip in a Wormhole?
Uh-huh.
Okay. What would it be about, your podcast?
So, conspiracy theories, like aliens and the legend of Bigfoot and the Loch Ness Monster, unicorns, and stuff.
I really like that title.
Okay.
The Rip in the Wormhole.
The Rip in the Wormhole. Okay. We'll work on that.
And I think it matches my title.
Okay, but I'm not going to do the work. You have to do the work.
I'm going to do research and stuff.
All I'm going to do is sit down here at this board and turn it on and record for you. You have to learn all of the stuff. You have to run the show. You have to prepare to do the show. I'll help you. I'll show you how to log in and upload the files.
Get demoted to co-host.
That's fine. I'll be co-host.
He'll be happy.
I'll be happy to be a co-host.
This just in.
Okay. All right. So, hold on. Breaking news.
The Rip in the Wormhole.
Breaking news.
The Rip in the Wormhole.
We have breaking news on the Soft Serve podcast. Space Unicorn will be starting her own podcast called A Rip in the Wormhole. All right, so be on the lookout for that, please. Okay. Stomping Jen, any final thoughts?
I have a final thought.
Go ahead,
please. The
please.
cat has now decided at the end of this podcast to settle down on my arms.
Yeah,
that's and has
dagger.
Now pinned me and trapped me. I can't move my head because my headphones will fly out of my ears.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for asking. My final thoughts.
You're waiting. You're part of the go around.
You're the host.
You are the host.
You're also a co-host. I can't do everything.
Sawtooth Frank, please enlighten us. What would you like to wrap up the show with? What are your final thoughts? Please.
Thank you.
Now is your time to shine.
Well, as I sit here 2 days past my 47th birthday.
Mm-hmm. Happy birthday, by the way.
Thank you. Am I boring you, Space Unicorn?
No.
That was a really loud sigh.
Sorry, I'm just tired. It's pretty late.
Yeah, you'll be going to bed after this.
No.
Yeah, I'm grateful I made it to 47. Mm-hmm. I'd like to go a long ways longer. I don't know what else to say, really. I'm at a loss for words.
That's okay. We had a long show. We had a long day.
I'm standing here staring into the void of the future and uncertainty.
The void of stopping Jen's eyes.
I know. Do you see that he's staring at me while he's saying these things? Yeah. The cat is like doubling down on this.
And I'm looking at the cat.
He's like totally...
All right, well, listen, people...
Did he?
Mm-hmm.
people asked for Ted and Space Unicorn.
And I hope we delivered.
Hello.
They got Ted and Space Unicorn,
This
so
is
that was
true.
a success.
Yeah.
To the both of you, fantastic appearance.
Thank you for joining
job.
us this evening.
Okay, Space Unicorn is taking over the board.
She's
So,
practicing for being a host.
all right, so we'll go around. Everybody can have a chance to say goodbye in their own special way. We'll start with you, Space Unicorn. Go ahead.
All
Dawn.
right. At the beginning, you mentioned that we were very special guests.
Yep.
I have to say, I am pretty special.
I agree. You are special.
Okay.
Very special.
Okay, do you want to
Who
say
else is
goodbye? Do you
special?
want to say goodbye?
I do. Okay. Goodbye, viewers. Thank you for tuning in on this podcast.
Did you say goodbye, beavers?
Viewers, she said.
Should have been listening.
Which is funny because it should be listeners
Yeah, well-
because we don't.
Why don't you try again? Go ahead.
Goodbye, listeners. Thank you for tuning in on the Soft Serve podcast. But I'm tuning out now. Goodbye.
Okay, bye. See you later. Ted, please.
All right. Bye.
Okay.
All right. Short and to the point, and that's fine. Stomping Jen.
Well, we love you.
Who do we love?
Everyone.
Mm-hmm.
All our listeners.
Yeah.
All our non-listeners. We love you too.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe one day you'll be a listener and we'll love you even more.
If people aren't listening by now, I'm not so sure we'll ever love them.
So make sure that you subscribe and download and share with a friend.
Beautifully said.
Yeah.
And
And then we will say bye now.
yeah, we'll say bye now. And I'm going to say it too. We love you. Thanks for listening. Listen more. Mm-hmm. And get other people to listen, okay?
Same thing I said.
Yeah.
Just in a different way.
All right. And
All right. Without further ado.
without further ado, bye now.
Bye now.
This world of ours, ever growing smaller, must avoid becoming a community of dreadful fear and hate. Those who have freedom will understand also its heavy responsibility. That all who are insensitive to the needs of others will learn charity, and that the sources, scourges of poverty, disease, and ignorance will be made disappear from the earth. And that in the goodness of time, all peoples will come to live together in a peace guaranteed by the binding force of mutual respect and love. I shall never cease to do what little I can to help the world advance along that road.